Love it, love it. Can you hear me now? Tell me if you can hear me now. Tell me if you can hear me now. This microphone has been the bane of my existence today. So I'm using a new microphone and it's been acting kind of crazy. So tell me if you can hear me now. Okay, perfect. Yay! So let me start over and say welcome. Welcome to season 2 of Bankroll Your Brilliance Thursdays. We are new in 2022. Excited to be here with you, pouring into you. So I'm Nicole Jones, the Bankroll Your Brilliance expert. And I'm here with you every Thursday at 12 p.m. EST to do one of two things. Make sure, number one, you understand what your brilliance is. By the way, I use the word brilliance based on the Bible verse, Matthew 5:16. Sorry, y'all. I have a new microphone. I don't know what to do with it. But just guess what? I'm going to have a newer one next week. So bear with me. I don't know what to set it to. I don't know what to do to get the static out. So tell me if it still remains bad, and I'll just do the audio from the computer. So tell me if it still remains bad, and I'll just unplug it all together. Anyway. Lots of static and cracking. Okay, y'all. Hold on. Let me see if I can try to fix this thing. Tell me if that sounds better. Because I'm committed. I want you to get these 5 steps I'm going to give you. Tell me if that sounds better, y'all. Give me a thumbs up. Say, hey, girl, hey. Tell me if this sounds better. You know, I tried to upgrade my audio experience with our new season, and you got to love it. Technology is great when it works. So I'm going to keep talking. So listen, every Thursday I'm here with you at 12 p.m. EST to cover 3 areas. Number one, it's not better yet. Jesus. Number one, to look at how you are born to be the answer. Listen, it doesn't sound better. Y'all, let me just move the microphone closer to my mouth. Let me see if this helps. Let's try this for this episode. How's that? Is that better, y'all? Let's see if I talk directly in this one. So, you know, my goal every year is to up-level me, which I hold the same space for all of you. And so I bought this new expensive microphone. And yeah, obviously it's not worth the price of tea. It's worse. Woo! Gotta love it, y'all. Gotta love it. I don't know what else to do. Okay, so how about I just unplug it? Okay, so now I'm using just my computer microphone. Tell me if you can at least hear me, because I'm more committed that you get this content than to that high quality expensive microphone that's not working. So can you hear me now? Thumbs up. Okay, great. So let's pour in, y'all. Let me pour it in. So there are 3 areas that I teach you from when I'm here with you live. Number one, I want to make sure you understand what is your brilliance. Your brilliance, I take from the Bible verse, Matthew 5:16. Let your light so shine among men and women that they may glorify your God in heaven. So you got to understand there's one thing God created you to do in this world, and I'm committed that you know it, and that you, number 2, understand the value that's tied to it. And there's so many conversations we can have around that. And then number 3, how do you create multiple streams of income from it? Because ultimately that gift in you is not for you. There are a group of people that need that gift in you. And so I thought that the beginning of a new year is a perfect time to level set and to make sure you're working in your purpose. So today I'm sharing 5 signs that you're not working in your purpose. Now, listen, my gift is to help people start purpose-focused businesses. So those of you that work a 9 to 5, I want you to know that this insight still applies to you. Because every one of you, whether you work for yourself or you work for someone else, that business that the other person that you work for created was created as an answer to a problem. Like my iPhone is an answer. Nike is an answer. My microphone definitely was supposed to be an answer, but it wasn't. Anyway, so with that said, I'm going to walk you through 5 reasons, 5 areas to look at. And if any of this sounds like you, it means you're not working in your purpose. You ready? Number 1, you lack joy and fulfillment. Listen, today is Friday Eve. As I'm recording live, it's Friday Eve. And if you spend your entire weekend dreading Monday, you already know you're not working in your purpose. The thing that I have learned in my own journey is God gave you specific DNA, distinct natural ability, which means you have a natural propensity for certain things. That means you love certain things. There are certain things that I do that my friends are like, I couldn't stand that. Like one of the things I love to do is I am a natural producer. I love that I get to produce my clients. Love it. Some people couldn't even try to do that. because that's the way I am wired. The same way that God put DNA, distinct natural ability in you, which makes you wired to do certain things. Why am I sharing that with you? Because if you don't find joy and excitement in the work you're doing, you're out of alignment with your assignment. Ooh, I rhymed. You're out of alignment with your assignment. Because when you're doing the thing you were born to do, you love it. Listen, I never feel like I'm working. Sometimes I feel guilty that I love my job so much. I'm just saying, right? So I want you to check yourself and see if the work you're doing is in alignment with your gift. Okay, I'll give you a brilliance framework in a second. Number two, you don't feel fulfilled. Now, this goes along with joy, because when you love what you're doing, you feel fulfilled. You feel like you're making a difference. You feel like you're giving back to the world. And really, when you feel like you're giving back to God. See, when God gifts you DNA at birth, again, distinct natural ability is what I mean by DNA. He put you here to bless a group of people that need you. So when you're doing that thing, you feel fulfilled because you can see the change, the difference you're making. So if I use myself for an example, when I see my clients really understanding what their purpose is, and for me, let me help you understand, not make you, let me help you understand. When I talk about bankroll means a supply. So God's gift back to you is he supplies your life. So bankroll is not just about money. It's the supply in your mental health. It's a supply in your spirituality. It's a supply in your family. Do y'all get that? So when I get to work with my clients and I see them doing the thing they were purposed to do, number one, that's a huge supply for me. But then what happens is when they are in alignment with their assignment and they're blessing the people they were called to serve, I'm in that system. I'm a part of that transformation. Just the same way that they're part of the transformation of their clients, and so on and so on. So that is what fulfills me. Is seeing the light in their eyes when they get clear. Is seeing, and actually, let me say it to you like this. One of my best friends is an image consultant. And years ago, we were going to an event. I'm looking at your comments, by the way, if I'm looking over here. And I didn't get to say hi to all y'all because I was having technology issues. So thank you for saying good morning and saying hello and good afternoon. One of my best friends is an image consultant, and she wanted me to go to this conference with her. And I said, the only way I'll go is if you have a style suite. And she was like, oh, I just want to hang out. I said, yeah, but I can see all the money that you can make. I see all the people that need you, because that's the way I'm wired. And so I started talking about all the things. And she said, I wanted to go have fun. I said, well, this is fun for me. That's what fulfillment looks like, y'all. I don't ever need a vacation from my job because I love it. And that's the same thing I want for you. Number three, you work because you have to, not because you want to. You see how all these kind of go together? Now, some of you, there's a lifestyle you want to maintain. And some of you, that's the reason why you haven't started your business. But I need you to understand that the lifestyle you want to maintain, maybe the mortgage you have to pay, your car note, all of that. When you live on assignment, abundance comes back to you. You just have to know how to, number three, how to bankroll it, how to monetize it. So what I want to encourage you to do is never choose to stay at a job because of your lifestyle, because that's easily replicatable. That's easy duplicatable. Don't limit God's ability to bless you based on how you live. Trust God to be your supply. Oh, I can go in a whole conversation just about that. Number four, you feel stuck. Now, can you see how all these again go together? Because some of you feel stuck because maybe you make six figures now. You can't see how you can make six figures from your purpose-driven, purpose-focused business. And so you don't start. And by the way, many people that I get to meet in this thing called life say things to me like, I'll wait till I retire when I start. Or they say things like, oh, well, my kids are in college or high school, and so I can't start now. So what happens is when you wait and you don't start now, if your paycheck is way up here, and say right now you're making six figures already, and you start your business, you're not going to be at six figures when you start your business. But if you start it alongside your 9 to 5, by the time you're ready to quit, by the grace of God, if you do it the right way, focus on your purpose. Focus on being the one thing God created you to be in this world. Focus on serving the people you were called to serve. Baby, your income will go beyond the paycheck you get right now. So when you feel stuck, you're settling. You're settling for good enough. There's a quote that I said actually on a special training I did last week, and I'll invite you to it in a minute. That quote was, deliberate mediocrity is a sin. If you know that God has more for you, if you have this more rumbling inside of you and you stay stuck in good enough, maybe you feel guilty that you want more because maybe you have the job you always wanted. Maybe you have everything you could have ever dreamed of, and yet you feel like there's something more for you. See, that was me years ago. Those of you that don't know my story, let me give you some context so I'm so passionate about what I teach. So I've been doing this. And some of you, if this is your first time, say, hey, Nicole, this is my first time catching you. If you've been here last year, this started last February. My segment with Black Doctor started last February. So if you've been here with me since then or in between, let me know. So I started in this work in 1993. Back then, I had the job I've dreamed up ever since I was 7 years old. And I know the exact moment I dreamed the job. I can tell you what I was doing, and I don't remember much about my childhood, but I remember that. So back then, I worked for Viacom's largest cable network. We had an outreach to over 89 million homes on a weekly basis. And then from there, by the way, did I say I worked in Hollywood? Shannon, Elisa, welcome. First time. Listen. So I worked in Hollywood, worked in the entertainment industry. So back then, again, I worked for Viacom. Then I went from there to working in casting for the #1 TV show on Fox. By the way, I know it's a show all of y'all watching reruns. That's not the point. And then from there, I went to work with a production group. And what we produced generated over $12.6 billion a year. So those of you that feel stuck because of your paycheck, trust and believe. Not only was I stuck because of my paycheck, because I was doing all that. Plus, let me tell you, I was working on some really big shows and with some really big people, but I was also going to all the hot Hollywood parties, bumping elbows with all the stars, people you've wanted to see or you've seen on TV and have looked at on films. I was with them. See, I was living the dream. But in the dark of the night, when I was by myself, I started feeling tormented by my dream because I felt like something was missing. And so what I'm sharing with you, these 5 signs are the very things I was feeling. Listen, Hollywood was great. I still missed the parties. I loved everything I did. And so I felt in conflict because how could I feel like something was missing when I was doing everything that I absolutely loved? And so many of you are in that place right now. That you are the exact reason when Black Doctor asked me to do this segment, I said yes to it. Because when I was at that crossroad, I didn't know who to turn to. I didn't know who to ask. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. So of course, I knew to pray. So of course I prayed, Lord, what is this? And God stayed silent. So I just kept trying to figure it out, And every one of my girlfriends that I talked to back then were saying stuff to me like, are you crazy? Yeah, I felt crazy. Because how can I not love? Well, I did love. How could I leave what I loved? But I knew something was tormenting my soul. And so in the middle of me feeling dazed and confused, one of my good girlfriends to this day, invited me to go and volunteer with her at a youth program at our church one Friday night. And as I walked into that sanctuary that night, as I worked with young women, their eyes lit up. And as their eyes lit up, my heart lit up. And I said, oh my God, this is it. This is the thing I've been looking for. But I didn't know what to call it. Listen, this was 1993. I had never heard of a coach. I didn't understand how I can get paid to do this thing. Especially, I'm telling you, when I worked in entertainment, baby, those paychecks I was getting and the invitations to all the parties that I was getting and the VIP treatment I would get. Listen, I remember one time I went shopping in Neiman Marcus. I walked in and and my team at the studio said, here, take this badge. I didn't know. It said studio services. Walked into Neiman Marcus. The woman walked me upstairs into my own suite, gave me a glass of champagne. I was like, yes, I could do this. So how could I leave all of that to do this thing that I didn't even know what to call? So I had a decision to make. And many of you are in that place right now. See, in one direction, at the crossroad of the decision I had to make, in one direction was the only way anyone would recognize me. It was perception. It was public opinion. It was all the parties and all the phenomenal things I did in Hollywood. And on this side of the road was the very thing that was rumbling inside my soul. And so where was I? I was at number 4. I felt stuck. How could I go after it? But then I said to myself, how could I not? And so knees knocking, teeth chattering, scared to death, I said yes to God in that moment. That was 1993. Here we are 28 years later. I did not see all of this happening. All I did was trust. I'm gonna tell you, I make more now than I made in entertainment. I still miss the parties though, but I serve more people. But can I tell you the deepest part? You know, there's a Bible verse that says, all things work together for the good. What I did not realize is when I left casting and production and producing, what I do now is I do casting and producing. See, what I do now is I produce my clients and have you play the role that's a good fit for your purpose in your business. I couldn't have said that in 1993, but I realized all things work together for the good. God uses everything. So nothing is a waste. So I'm saying that to you because maybe you're at number 5. So let me give you a review. Okay. So number 1, you lack joy and excitement in the work you do. Now, again, this is the 5 reasons, 5 ways you can tell that you are not working in your purpose. So number 1, if you lack joy and excitement in the work that you do, if you lack it, you're not working in your purpose, right? Number 2, I had all these notifications that come up. Number 2, you don't feel fulfilled. Number 3, you work because you have to versus working because you want to. Listen, there are days that my husband has to come get me out of my office. On the weekends, I want to go in my office. Sometimes I get all these ideas because that's the way I'm wired. It's what I do for a living now. And my husband finds me in my office on a Saturday. He's like, really? I'm like, okay, do you want to do something? Because I love it, right? Number 4, you feel stuck because maybe you don't know how to move your gift, your purpose, your thoughts, your talents, your brilliance forward. Or then number 5, you have no direction. Most times you feel stuck because you have no direction. So those of you that feel like that, I did a whole hour training last Thursday called FPP, Faith, Purpose, Profit. I shared with the members of my Facebook group, the Brilliance Tribe, the 3 areas that you've got to be clear on to live as the highest and best version of who God created you to be. So if you find yourself in any of those 5 places and now's your time to start your purpose-focused business, walk through that training. I tell you the 3 areas you've got to get clear on, the 3 areas you've got to move forward so that you can not only live as the highest and best version that God created you to be, but how do you get paid for it? After all, Jesus said, if I'm going to break it all the way down in John 10:10, that I've come that you have life. John 10:10, I've come that you have life and have it more abundantly. Your gift is tied to the abundance that is yours for the taking. And see, you got to understand when I say profit, when I say abundance, when I say making money while you sleep, what I'm talking about is when you make more money, you do more good in the world. So I always say profit because here's the thing. When you make money, it profits the people you get to serve because you can serve more people. It also profits your family because you can do more. You can send your kids to college and pay in cash. You can give a donation to causes that you care about. That's profit because it's profiting those people. Y'all get that? So it's bigger than just making money. So when I'm talking about money, I'm not talking about buying Gucci or Louis Vuitton or Mercedes or any of that. That stuff is great. But I'm talking about how it gives back to you and how you move it forward by blessing all the people that are touched, moved, and inspired by you. So I look forward to 2022 being a year that I give you the tools to go after whatever's next for you. So do me a favor. Those of you that are here, I want to hear where you need insight. Now, there's 2 ways. Number 1, follow me on Instagram. Now, I'm saying it's 2 ways because you can send me an inbox message on Instagram. If you have questions, you have topics you want me to cover, I want to know. Then I also want to encourage you to follow me on Instagram because I give insight, tools, strategy all week, every day, all day. But I really do want to hear from you because I want this to be a year that you stand your purpose like you never have before. So with that, let me acknowledge some of the people that are here because I didn't get to do it at the beginning. I didn't get to say hello because I was so focused on getting my technology working out. So Jarlene and Donald and Theodore and Shannon and Lisa and Gerald and Barbara, Joseph, who else is it? Laquetta and JP. Hey, JP and Sean. Maurice, thank you all for hanging in there with me to the end. As my grandmother always used to say, don't come to this house and not speak. And some of y'all didn't speak. I'm just saying. I'm always committed to pour all that I have into 30 minutes or less of actionable insight so that you can live as the highest and best version of who God created you to be. So that's it for this topic. I want to know, which of these 5 areas do you find yourself in? Hey, Nicole, like your name, girl. Do you find yourself in number 1, you lack joy and fulfillment? Are you number 2, joy and excitement? Number 2 is you don't feel fulfilled. because having joy and excitement is different than feeling fulfilled. So let me walk you through the Brilliance framework that really will help you understand the 4 areas you've got to really have a clear understanding on and maneuver through and live through if you're going to live on assignment. So number 1 is, what are you passionate about? That speaks to the lack of joy and excitement. What do you love that you would do? And some of you do this hour upon hour and you never would ask to get paid for it. The second is, what are you proficient in? See, this is the thing that people call you when to run something past you. Can I pick your brain? Your boss at your job probably gives you all the special assignments. That's in alignment with your proficiency. So your passion and your proficiency have to correlate. Some of you are working at a job and you have no passion, but you're really good at it. Or you really love it, but you suck at it. And you got to have both, because if you suck at it, you know you're going to get fired at some point or other, right? Or you're never going to get a promotion, and that's no way to live. So when I think about passion and proficiency and how those two correlate, it makes me think of Michelle Obama's book, Becoming. In her book, she talks about the fact that she went to law school. She matriculated through her law career, and she got really, really great at it. Was getting new levels and promotions and doing great, but guess what? She hated it. And she got to this place realizing that she hated it, but felt stuck because she had no idea what to do, because she knew she didn't want to be a lawyer, but she didn't know what she wanted to do. So whether that's you or you're where I was, where I love my job, but my purpose was calling. I think both happen because your purpose is calling. It means that it's time for you to go after your next level. It's time for you to move in alignment with whatever that is rumbling inside of you. So those are the first two. Then you have to realize, once you understand how your passion, your proficiency correlate, because those two have to be present, that it's an answer to a problem. See, your gift it's not even about you. When you are selfish and you make it about, well, I need to make money and it's not about you. God didn't put you here about you. He put you here to be on assignment, to be about your Father's business. Like Jesus said, I'm here about my Father's business. Yeah, you here too about your Father's business. But are you activating it? Because you are an answer to a problem. That's number 3. And you got to be clear on what the problem is that you're an answer to, because you're not everybody's answer, but you're somebody's answer. And that somebody is waiting for you. And then number 4 is, how do you profit from it? That's your Brilliance framework. Okay. And so if you are in these 5, let me read it one more time. I keep starting them and then I'll tell a story, right? But I hope this is blessing y'all. Number 1, you lack joy and excitement. Number 2, you don't feel fulfilled. By the way, those are the first 2 steps of the Brilliance framework assessment. Number 3, you work because you have to, not because you want to. Number 4, you feel stuck because maybe you have a lifestyle to maintain. Or number 5, you haven't moved into your purpose because you don't know where to start. You have no direction. Wherever that is for you, again, I want to encourage you to go and watch the training I did last week. Last week at fppreplay.com, Faith, Purpose, Profit Breakfast is what I called it. And I started the new year with something God placed in my spirit to create for you. But he also showed me all the areas as to why many people don't work in their purpose. I'll walk you through all of it in FPP Replay. So again, fppreplay.com. You don't have to opt in or anything. You go straight to the page. You can watch it now. So with that said, that's it for our conversation for today. I want you to get clear on where you're out of alignment. Just like we take our cars to the shop to get our wheels aligned, your purpose needs to be aligned. Right. Gerald said complacency. And here's the thing. Your comfort and your conviction can never coexist. Because when you're worried about being comfortable, that means you're being complacent. So this is my invitation to you to stop settling for good enough, to stop living in mediocre, to go after all of what God has for you. One of my absolute favorite Bible verses is, God will do abundantly above all you would ever ask or think. That's Ephesians 3:20. Abundantly above all you would ever ask or think. If it's bigger than what you could even think of, can you fathom that? Imagine how big that is. So of course, it's going to be a little scary. But when you get to the other side of that fear, the blessings that come. So that's our first episode, y'all. Welcome to 2022. You know, it's time for you to be new in 2022. So I look forward to continuing the conversations. Can that link be put in the chat? Sure. I'll put it in there now. Hold on, y'all. I can't FPP. replay.com. I know that's right. So I just said it in there. I just stuck it in there. FPPreplay.com. Thank you. Somebody else wrote it twice. So with that said, y'all, I look forward to serving you and holding space for you and encouraging you, because this work isn't easy, but it's worth it. It's just like going on a diet plan. How many of y'all need that for 2022? Me included. I went to Jamaica and ate way too much. So I had to get back on the plan that I already had. It's never easy, but it's always for your good. It's never easy, always for your good, always worth it. So I look forward to the expansion of your gift. Those of you that saw my last episode here in Black Doctor in December, it's time to go after a level above which you already are. You are so ready. Welcome. Deidre said, thank you. I needed this today. You are so welcome. I look forward to continue to pour into you. Next week, I have a guest with me. But again, every week, 12 p.m. EST, I'm here 30 minutes or less to pour into you so that you can move your gift forward. All right. So with that said, y'all, have a phenomenal rest of your day. I look forward to continuing our conversation all month long. Again, here's where the replay is. One more time, fppreplay.com. I also put it in the chat. So if this is giving you any value, can I ask you to do me two favors? Number one, write in the comments the value you got out of today. And number two, click on the button somewhere and share it. Share with your groups, your network, and tell them, hey, you need to get here next Thursday. You need to get here and join us in these conversations. Bankroll your Brilliance Thursdays, every Thursday. All right. So with that said, y'all have a good rest of your day. I'll see you next Thursday for another episode. Bye, y'all.